Today's very sad news. Ray and April's shocking death rocks Emmerdale fans to the core. In a devastating turn of events that has left Emmerdale viewers stunned and heartbroken, the village has been shaken by the tragic, shocking deaths of Ray and April. A storyline twist so sudden and emotionally brutal that fans are still struggling to process it. What began as quiet tension and unspoken fears spiraled into a catastrophic climax, reminding audiences once again why Emmerdale remains one of television's most fearless and emotionally gripping soaps. Warning: storyline spoilers ahead. This article discusses fictional events within the show Emmerdale. A calm before the storm. For weeks, Emmerdale had been layering subtle hints that something wasn't right. Lingering glances, half-finished conversations, and a creeping sense of dread settled over the village. Ray and April, characters who had quietly woven themselves into the fabric of village life, were standing on emotional fault lines that few truly noticed. Ray, haunted by past mistakes and unresolved guilt, had been spiraling internally. April, vulnerable yet fiercely loyal, carried a weight of fear she couldn't quite articulate. Together, they were bound by love, regret, and a sense that time was running out. Fans sensed danger, but no one was prepared for how brutal and final the outcome would be. The night everything changed. The episode that delivered the tragedy will go down as one of Emmerdale's most gut-wrenching hours. What started as a tense confrontation escalated rapidly into chaos. Harsh words were exchanged. Secrets spilled out. Emotions exploded. Then, in a sequence that felt almost surreal in its intensity, fate struck without mercy. Whether it was a devastating accident, a cruel twist of circumstance, or the culmination of long-simmering despair, Ray and April's lives were cut short in a moment that felt both sudden and tragically inevitable. The camera lingered just long enough to let the reality sink in. This was not a fake-out, not a cliffhanger. This was goodbye. A village frozen in grief. The aftermath was nothing short of heartbreaking. As dawn broke over Emmerdale, the village felt hollow, stripped of warmth and certainty. Familiar locations suddenly looked colder, emptier, as news of the deaths spread. Characters who had shared even the smallest moments with Ray and April were left grappling with shock and guilt. Could they have seen the signs? Could they have stepped in sooner? The questions came fast, but the answers never arrived. The silence following the tragedy was almost louder than the chaos that preceded it. Why this storyline hurts so much? What makes Ray and April's deaths particularly painful is how human their story felt. This wasn't a sensational villain plot or a distant disaster. It was raw, intimate, and frighteningly real. Emmerdale has always excelled at exploring the fragility of life, and this storyline leaned fully into that truth. Love doesn't always save us. Regret doesn't always get resolved. Sometimes people we care about are taken before they get their second chance. That realism is exactly why fans are grieving so deeply. Fan reactions, shock, anger, and tears. Social media erupted immediately after the episode aired. Viewers described being emotionally destroyed, completely unprepared, and unable to stop crying. Many praised the writers and actors for their fearless storytelling, while others expressed anger at losing two characters they had grown to love. The actors behind Ray and April delivered performances that will be remembered for years. Every tremor in their voices, every tear-filled pause, and every look of quiet desperation added layers of authenticity that made the tragedy impossible to dismiss. In their final scenes, there was no melodrama, just pain, love, and the terrifying realization that there might be no way out. It's the kind of acting that leaves viewers emotionally drained but deeply moved. What this means for Emmerdale going forward. Ray and April's deaths will not be a storyline that fades quietly into the background. The ripple effects are set to reshape the village in profound ways. Relationships will fracture. Guilt will fester. Old wounds will reopen. Characters closest to them will be forced to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves, about each other, and about how fragile life in Emmerdale truly is. The show has made it clear, this loss will matter. A painful reminder of life's fragility. At its core, this storyline serves as a sobering reminder that life can change in an instant. One argument, one decision, one moment too late. Emmerdale didn't just deliver shock, it delivered reflection. Viewers were left questioning how often people hide their pain, how easily warning signs are missed, and how precious every ordinary day really is. That's what makes this very sad news resonate far beyond the screen. Final goodbye. As the village mourns, so do the fans. Ray and April's journey may have ended in tragedy, but their story will linger, etched into Emmerdale history as one of its most heartbreaking chapters. Today, the Dales feel quieter, heavier. And for viewers everywhere, there's a shared sense of loss that only the most powerful storytelling can create.